Hi everyone, and welcome to DPTV, and this is TV5 Run Sport. Today we have an amazing singer, an amazing artist, and we're going to be having a very fun conversation with her. And I will be letting you know that this woman is beautiful in person as well as on your TVs. I am Tinashe Mukasa, and today we have Miss Ali Caldwell.
Hello.
How you doing today?
I'm good. I'm a little nervous about today, but very excited.
Hey, and you look amazing, by the way. Can you tell me
Thank
more about
you.
your outfit?
Oh, well, I'm wearing my new Ali Caldwell merch,
Right.
as you guys can see. Big red hair. That's my brand. So, I'm excited. I'll be having these at the Apollo show tonight.
Yes.
And, I love big baggy pants. I love a good shoe. I don't know if you guys can see my shoe, but I love platform shoes and heels. A little bling with the jacket,
Right.
a little
Right.
shiny, just to set the tone for tonight. And just kind of like the pre-outfit for the outfit.
Absolutely. And I'm pretty sure tonight is going to be amazing. I know I'm looking forward to it. We are going to make this a very fun interview per se.
Okay.
I want to talk to you about the different chapters of life, right? So you have the chapter of gratitude.
Yeah.
What does the chapter of gratitude mean to you?
Wow. I feel like I've had many chapters of gratitude, with everything that's been going on in my career as of lately. I have nothing but gratitude, just recently I've gotten an opportunity to sing background for Usher.
Right.
We did Dreamville. We did the Roots Picnic. I went to Vegas and spent some time and rehearsed, got to know, him as a person. He's really amazing. And just the different opportunities that I received, has filled me with so much gratitude, So it's a beautiful thing because, there's a lot of people that they hear the word, gratitude, but they really don't know how to connect to it because maybe there's just some things going on in their lives that they can't really connect to it. But with me, I'm so lucky and so, blessed that I get to experience these opportunities and blessings that God just placed in my lap. So filled with gratitude.
Yes. No, of course. And Miss Ali was on The Voice as a contestant, and you would have seen her with a beautiful voice, and she was projecting and just going into the next chapter. Then, what does the chapter of visualization mean to you, just based on the fact that you were able to be on an amazing show and just watching you sing, I was like, okay, that woman is talent. Okay, she just being like this lyricist, like you have talent.
Thank you.
That's
so
very
much.
rare.
Thank you.
Chapter visualization. What does that mean to you?
Well, as a performer, because, I am a singer first, but I'm a performer second. So the whole visual part of it all is very, very important to me. So like I said to you before we started, I love the stage. I'm born a performer, but when the lights and cameras are off and I'm not on stage, I'm like the shyest person, more like kept to myself, get in my turtle shell. Yeah. But once I get to know you and everything like that, it's a total different story. And I'm like, pretty much free. But the whole visual part of it all for me is so important because keeping up your brand is one thing for me. And as you can see, I'm a redhead and I've been a redhead ever since I've been on The Voice. And not only just to do it just to do it, but it's something that I love. I have a connection to the color red.
Yeah.
And it says, the definition of red says a lot about me and who I am. And there's like such a bond and connection with it. So everything that I do, you're always going to see like the color red. And it's a part of my visual. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's super important to keep it up because, I don't never want to confuse the people who follow me, and once they see me, I don't want them to be like, well, who is that next time they see me, So it's very important to stay consistent with your visual and your brand for sure.
For sure. Well, thank you for that, and that's important.
Yeah.
Like just being consistent all
Yes,
the
that's
time.
my favorite word, and it's
Oh, it's on
literally
your
at the top of
I
my
just saw
speech.
that. How beautiful.
Yes,
Ah.
consistency is like one of my favorite words, and I think honestly everybody in the world should, take from this word because it's so powerful. And for one, like it has done so much for me in my life, which is why I put it on my t-shirt because I stand on it, I live by it, and it's literally the testament of my life right now. Like I've been consistent from the very first time that I made my debut on national television to where I am right now. And, it's the way of living for me is staying consistent. Yeah.
When you created your album, Heart of
Yeah.
Ballads,
Yeah,
and that
that's
was
my baby.
Yes. And that song, the one song I want to ask you about,
Ooh.
Good Time.
Ooh, you
Good
okay.
time, good time,
Okay,
good time.
okay, research. Okay,
Yes.
okay.
So tell me about that song, really. Like, where was your mind
Wow.
at when you were writing that song? And do you still go into the same mental state when you sing that song?
Where was my mind when I wrote Good Time?
Yes.
Well, pretty much in the gutter, Good Time is it's a very sensual song, which I don't feel any way of, touching on my sensual side because I'm a grown woman, you know what I mean? So that Good Time is just basically me kind of like subliminally, putting it down in a song on how I have a good time with my significant other. So, that was a moment,
Right.
when I wrote it. It was definitely real and definitely amazing.
That's good.
But yeah, it's off one of my favorite projects. It's my very first project. Heart of Ballads has a special place in my heart.
Okay.
So literally every song it's like a personal, connection.
Right. So going into that with the next chapter, now how do you stay resilient? So the chapter of resilience. How's that for you? I'll say going forward.
Yeah, for me, staying resilient is staying consistent.
Yes.
And staying very authentic to myself.
Right.
It's very important to try not to get sidetracked because there's so many artists in the world. There's so many people in music and in the industry, and they're doing their own thing, but you're also doing your own thing. God gave you a gift. God gave me a gift, everybody else a gift. And it's like he specifically made it for us individually. So for me, staying resilient is super important because I know God gave me what he gave me for a reason. So I want to stay consistent with that. And once I stay consistent with that, the resilience and everything else falls in line.
And it's something that you're not taking for granted.
Absolutely not, yeah.
I think in almost every interview that Miss Ali does, you're speaking into it.
Yeah.
Speaking about just the energy, the positivity that, just surrounding yourself too.
Yeah.
With a good environment.
I'm really big on that. I feel like birds of a feather flock together, so it's really important that you keep a certain type of energy around you because, the wrong energy can immediately shift you. And I'm really, really big on that, especially with the line of work that I do. It's really easy to walk into an energy that's just not. And I'm also a Cancer, so I'm super sensitive. I can feel every negative. It's so crazy. Yeah. I also call it discernment because I am a church baby too. So I picked up on that particular definition growing up in church. At first, before the whole energy thing came up, it was discernment for me, and just as a little girl, I always was trying to figure out why is it that I felt so much whenever people would come in the room. Right. And it was told to me that that's just my spiritual discernment. Right. And now that I'm a grown woman now and I've experienced life as a grown woman, I can call that, energy in my just being able to feel the connection or not, so Yeah, super important.
So to this generation, just stepping off to the side a little bit, talking about energy.
Yeah.
Do you think they understand what that means, really, to
The
feel
younger
energy?
generation?
Yes.
No,
Right.
I really don't.
Mm.
I don't even think they're worried about that. I think their minds are on something totally different. So maybe
The actual
maybe a certain group, you know, because there are some, you know, a nice group in our younger generation where their heads are on right, and you know, mentally they're like very mature for their age. So I can't say all of the younger generation, but definitely majority of them don't really know. Yeah,
Right. And they do, like you said, you know, like growing up in the church, you now understand discernment and how you can differentiate between negative and positive energy.
Absolutely. Yeah.
How do you make the negative energy and positive energy work together? How do you keep a balance on a daily or maybe on a weekly?
um, I feel like there was my grandmother, who was one of my favorite human beings on this planet. She passed away during that whole COVID moment where, you know, and I just miss her so much. But there was one thing that she taught me growing up, because I did a lot of spending time with my grandmother. Like, she's like my second mom.
Yes.
So there was one thing that she taught me where she's like, you know, if the people are being mean to you, you love them anyway. If they're, you know, trying to be any type of negative, you know, toward you, you just show them positive. You show them the light that's in you, that God has placed in you. And I've taken that, and, you know, it's been going with me for, you know, as long as till, you know, today, you know. So for me, connecting that negative and positive energy, it's just all on who you are. You know, not everybody is able to do that.
No.
So it says a lot about you and who you are. Like, if you can like sit in the face of somebody that you know that they're super negative, but you can still smile and just be you and let your positive, let your positive energy kind of like rub off on them, and maybe it'll shift the whole, you know,
like teaching them indirectly how to act.
Absolutely. So that's kind of like what I do, you know, because thankfully I usually don't run into any type of sick, because I say my prayers first. I'm like, Lord, before I go into this room, please let it be all great energy, all beautiful people. And every time I do that, it never fails. Yeah.
That's amazing. And just moving into the next chapter of the moment that you felt you were like, okay, this is a rebirth for me.
Yeah.
Right? The chapter of rebirth. So just taking it back a little bit. Tell me that moment where you knew that, okay, I am now going to the next stage of my life, to the next step of my life. The rebirth for you. How was that moment for you?
The rebirth moment for me, I would have to say, wow. So I did 2 TV shows. I did The Voice.
Yes.
And then right after that, I did The Four.
Yes.
So those 2 experiences taught me a lot about myself, what I can handle, what I thought I couldn't handle, but found out that I could handle.
Yes.
Just so many things that I experienced and what I went through. It just revealed to me who I really am. And I didn't think that I had it in me, but I did, you know? So I would say after The Four was the moment for me where it was like that whole rebirth, like where it's like, wow, I thought I was this person.
Right.
And here I am, you know, coming off of this huge platform and feeling very like strong, you know what I mean? Feeling very strong, and stronger than how I felt before I even started, you know, the TV show. So, it just took me through like some peaks and valleys while going through that, and taught me so much about myself. So I would have to say, after coming off of those shows, it was very much like, okay, I know exactly who I am.
Yes. I know exactly what direction I'm going, and
exactly.
being on stage with Christina Aguilera,
Yeah.
being on stage in Moscow. You know, you
Yeah.
said you love performing in
my-
Moscow because of.
Take me back.
I'll come with you. I'll come with you. I think I
I want to
can
go.
fit in
I
any
want to go
luggage.
back to Moscow, and I want to
Right.
go back to Batumi. Was also a
Wow.
beautiful place. And those two places was with her, with Christina Aguilera. So many. I'm just, I'm honestly, I'm blessed.
Yes.
I'm so blessed because
Absolutely.
I can go and look back at my passport right now.
Yeah.
It will still hit me like I cannot
This is
believe
me right
that I
here.
went to these places. Like I'll never have that energy where I'm like, oh yeah, that was me. I did that,
Yes.
So
yes.
it's just
You're
it's
claiming
always
it.
surreal to me,
Yeah. Yeah, and it's kind of like you get to a moment where you're like, okay, I need to like really like balance out. Like,
Yeah.
do you get like when you get like excited and like happy and like, okay, let me balance it out a little bit, let me tone
Yeah.
it down. Like,
Absolutely.
got it.
It's so funny. My manager gets on me all the time because he wants me to like live in the moment sometimes.
Right.
And it's so hard for me to live in the moment because I'm trying, for me, I want to stay as level-headed
Yes.
as possible, and I don't never want to get too big-headed.
Mm.
So, but he reminds me, it's okay to celebrate your wins.
Absolutely.
It's okay to, like, majority of my friends,
Yeah.
because I'm so, like, turtle in the shell most of the time, really, like, chill and laid back. They have to say this to me all the time. They're like, do you know who you are? And I'm like, yeah, I know who I am. Like, no. Do I need to put on the TV like who you are? And I'm like, no, you don't have to do that. Like, I'm just chilling,
see
So I'm really like laid back and chill. And I do understand, what I've done in my career. And, I never take that for granted, like you said. But
Right.
it's also still good to have those highs and excitements and everything like that, but also know how to
Right.
bring yourself down back to reality when it's time,
Yes.
because it's super important. Yeah.
Thank you so much
Thank you. This was
for
so
weighing in.
good.